bring an end to insurgency and banditry in the country. President Muhammadu Buhari this Sunday gave audience to the Senate President Allowance, who briefed the President of the concern of the Senate on the state of security in the country and the need to do whatever it takes to improve the situation. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
And a president arrived in the official residence of President Muhammadu Buhari to deliver the message of other members of the National Assembly. Among issues at stake is the worrisome security challenges in the country. The immediate action being suggested by the Senate include increase in funding of the military to intensify the fight against insurgents and bandits. As Senate President Ahmed Lawan says, the present efforts of the military is not enough in protecting lives and property of Nigerians.
And we believe that the Senate and indeed the National Assembly is positively disposed to receiving even supplementary budget purposely to address the fundamental needs of the security agencies of our country so that we are able to empower them, enable them to fight the Boko Haram in the northeast, banditry, and other security challenges across the country. So this is one. Secondly, we also believe that in the Senate, particularly, we believe that we need to provide more resources for recruitment by the security agencies.
Stressing that the country has no option than to address the security challenge more than any other, the Senate President made references to the huge amount and palliatives provided by the government, organizations and individuals as interventions to combat the coronavirus pandemic. Such attitude, he says, must be replicated in dealing with insurgency and banditry.
Those who are heading these agencies, especially the service chiefs, must sit up. They must sit up. In fact, we must have milestones and timelines on how we are going to deal with this. We can't just go on without any time frame for dealing with these issues. If after we provide some support and someone is found short of expectation, he should be shown out of the way if he refuses to go. Because the lives of Nigerians are so precious and therefore must be more important than any other consideration or sentiment.
On the sideline, President Muhammadu Buhari and the Senate President discussed the crisis in the ruling APC party.
By the grace of God, in a very few days, we will see certain actions that will be taken. The situation must not be allowed to degenerate further than it has. And I believe that we must go into our constitution, the constitution of our party, and see how we are to address this. But we must not allow the situation to continue as it is today.
The meeting between the President and the Senate President lasts for about an hour. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
And on health, President Muhammadu Buhari congratulates Nigerians as the country becomes wild polio virus free. He also appreciates partners, local and international, for their relentless efforts in ensuring the clean health bill. A statement signed by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the President says this achievement is not only one of the great successes of his generation of Nigerians, but also a pride of his administration, which has been consistently investing in the health of Nigerians. The President notes that the polio-free status is a hard-won battle spanning over 3 decades and dedication by all stakeholders. And in the ancient city, Abu Market is one of the major markets in Benin metropolis, located in the King Square area, which is around the city center, has been gutted by fire. The incident reportedly started from the livestock section of the market just before midnight. Report says frantic efforts have been made by 4 fire service outfits, the Federal Fire Service, Army School of Supply, University of Benin, and Nigeria Air Force to prevent the fire from spreading to other parts of the market. An accident involving a petrol tanker and another truck laden with 33,000 natural gas on Kara Bridge along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway on Sunday has left in its wake 2 casualties, 4 articulated vehicles ravaged and 2 victims injured. Abolade Salami reports that traffic officials have condoned off the accident scene, causing untold hardship to road users.
The fuel tankers laden with 33,000 litres of PMS and an articulated truck conveying natural gas were said to have rammed into each other as a result of poor visibility experienced during the early hours of Sunday. What Lagosians should have described as a Black Sunday was averted following the response of emergency responders who put out the fire from escalating.
The articulated vehicle, the one carrying 33,000 PMS, they were reckless. They were competing with each other, and that is what led to the collision. But however, that's the preliminary report. We are going to do details report to ascertain the real cause.
The injured were rescued by the community members around the area based on their eyewitness accounts. So they said they rescued them. One of them had his clothes torn.
The bridge that serves dual purpose for vehicles plying in and out of Lagos to connect Ibadan and other southwestern states is on a total lockdown following the incident.
We've been able to manage the traffic. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency were on ground with their fire service, supported by the one from Ogun State. So you can see for yourself that the fire is already subdued and the traffic is flowing gradually.
Whereas the fate of motorists and commuters coming in and moving out of the metropolis is now hanging in the balance. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
In other news, the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NAD, has directed members of the union to resume work on Monday, 22nd June. This follows the suspension of its indefinite strike during an extraordinary virtual meeting comprising National Executive Council officials. A statement signed by NAD President Dr. Aliyu Sukomba says the association resolved to suspend the lingering strike following intervention from the Nigeria Governors Forum, Speaker, House of Representatives, Government Representatives and other stakeholders to give more time to government to fulfill other outstanding demands. And staying with the doctors, the federal government has unveiled a number of incentives lined up for resident doctors in the country. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed disclosed this at a media briefing in Abuja. Anthony Forson reports.
Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed explained that it is pertinent to note that issues raised by the resident doctors while issuing their ultimatum have received or are receiving full attention, ranging from personal protective equipment and implementation of residency training program. The sum of 4 billion naira has been provided with the backing of the National Assembly, while the Federal Ministry of Health is interfacing with the Salaries, Income and Wages Commission to build a template that will fit into the 2021 budget.
This is a responsible government, and it has acted responsibly to avert this needless strike. Many options were open to the federal government in tackling the strike, yet it has chosen negotiation over confrontation, as we can see in the efforts we've made so far to meet the demands of the association.
The federal government has also paid the sum of 9 billion naira as premium for group life insurance to all health workers and an additional 4.6 billion naira as special hazard allowance. There is also 50% consolidated basic salary for doctors working within COVID-19 facility and 40% for doctors working in non-COVID-19 facility. There is also 10% consolidated basic salary for non-health workers, 20% allowance for health workers directly managing COVID-19 patients, among others. Minister of Health Osage Ehanire and that of Labour Chris Ngige were passionate about the role of medical practitioners in this era of COVID-19.
The intention of the government should not be misunderstood. So therefore, the rights of all doctors and health workers will be protected by the Ministry of Health, by all means and in all ways. But in all of that, we must not forget the rights of citizens to their own lives.
The health workers are in the front line, so they have this cover. They also have covers of extra top-up group life insurance from the PTF, the donations given to PTF by some insurance companies. And we're also arranging to give them Employee Compensation Act for any injuries or infirmity sustained in the course of work, including even death, fatality.
The Association of Resident Doctors had, upon the expiration of their 14 days ultimatum, embarked on the strike on the 15th of June. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has commended members of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NAD, for calling off their nationwide strike following his interventions and those of others. Gbajabiamila said by their action, the resident doctors have once again proved that they truly have Nigerians at heart, saying the House leadership and members appreciate them for that. The Speaker, in a statement by his Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Larry Lasisi, said he believed the various interventions by the House helped in no small measure in resolving the issue. The resident doctors had appreciated Speaker Gbajabiamila for his interventions that commenced with a meeting with stakeholders and culminated in the inclusion of 4 billion naira as hazard allowance in the revised 2020 national budget. The decision to suspend the strike action was taken in order to give the federal and state governments time to fulfill the outstanding demands following an appeal by the Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Chairman, Nigeria Governors Forum, and other stakeholders. Away from the doctors now, in line with the federal government's vision of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty through entrepreneurship skills, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development is to commence the enrollment of Batch C of NPAR from July 26, 2020. In a statement, the Minister, Sadia Umar Farouk, says the ministry has already commenced the transition of Batch A and B beneficiaries into government entrepreneurship schemes and private sector after the completion of psychometric assessment to determine competency, since the 2 batches will exit the program on June 30th and 31st of July to ensure a streamlined and transparent selection process that will give Nigerians equal opportunity. Applications will be conducted using a hybrid system of enrollment where applicants must provide a bank verification number. The online portal will be open on the 26th of this month for applications, after which the ministry will review submissions and publish a list of successful applicants. Past beneficiaries are not eligible to participate in the application process, as special considerations will be given to persons with disabilities. Now, to talk more on the NPAR program is a special advisor to the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs on Social Investment, Aminu Nyako. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
All right, now, so let's begin. The NPAR enrollment for Batch C will commence on Friday. Who qualifies to be part of the program? And then what happens to the members of the Batch A and B that will be disengaged?
Thank you so much for having me on here. Yes, the NPAR portal will open on June 26th on Friday. It's eligible to all Nigerians to apply. Previous batches were focused on the graduate class. However, we're opening it up to all Nigerians right now. The MBS says there are about 40 million Nigerian youth that are unemployed, of which the NPAR program has catered to 500,000 in 4 years. We believe that's just 1%, and there are a lot of Nigerian youth that are willing and are able and are seeking the opportunity to participate within the programs. The portal will be open. It is empower.gov.ng, and as stated earlier, it's a hybrid model that seeks to cater to a large demographic of Nigerian youth. The age range, as always, is between the ages of 18 and 35, and the portal will be open noon June 26th.
Okay, beautiful. Talking about those to be disengaged now, that's Batch A and Batch B.
Yeah.
We hear that some are complaining that they've not been paid their April and May stipends. What's happening?
Yes, the ministry is aware that some beneficiaries have not received their stipend. The 2020 budget kicked in March, and we had to transition to the GIFMIS platform, which is the Government Information and Financial Management Information System. During that transition, some records of beneficiaries was rejected, and currently we're within the process of reconciling those records, and payments will be made to the beneficiaries. I think it's important to note that the ministry doesn't hold the beneficiary funds, is within the TSA account. So once the reconciliation is completed, beneficiaries will receive their stipends as stated.
Okay, so they should be at peace. All right. Okay, fine. Talking about those to be disengaged, we hear that they will be incorporated into a particular government empowerment program. What does that entail?
The ministry has designed a transition plan that seeks to place the batch A and B beneficiaries of the Empower into other opportunities, be it government programs, other government programs, and private sector opportunities. We do understand that they've been on the program now for a minimum of 24 months across both batches, and we understand that they are extremely committed to the program. However, like I stated earlier, we need to open up the Empower program to more beneficiaries, for them to be able to benefit from the laudable program of Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari. The transition would seek to leverage some of the success stories that have been identified currently within the Empower program. A lot of beneficiaries have upfits to the program, and the country at large is undeniable, and we believe that the batch C